ready.
All right.
Well, you didn't have notes today.
No, I didn't.
No notes today.
We discussed. This was just a random discussion last night, so I didn't have time to prep.
I thought about writing notes today, and
Really?
then I was like, nah, Barry got it.
Oh, we have a guest today, though.
Yeah.
Courtney, have you ever seen? Everybody, this is Courtney, a friend of ours. Courtney, have you ever seen our podcast?
I've seen it, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the latest few episodes, but we like to start things with a prayer now.
No, you don't. Jesus will.
So I don't know a lot about you, Courtney. Why don't you tell our viewing audience what you do for a living?
All three people. About 3 viewers.
All 3 viewers.
Make a good impression.
No, I train amateur and pro athletes for sports performance training, and I do a little bit of fitness training for general fitness, but my main thing is like biomechanics for athletes, just movement, help them get better.
Like our local Houston NFL team, or
Well, yeah, you have a lot of your athletes from some of like the high schools around Houston. Mostly the teams on the east side. Get a couple of kids from like my old high school also, and so on.
When it comes to stuff like that, is it like it's a private paid tutor kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we have small groups, and you can do personal training. So a lot of it just really depends on what the athlete's looking for. Sometimes if they're in season, they'll come in as a group. Sometimes you have some kids who are not as advanced, or even older kids, or your pro guys who just want to be the one-on-ones. But other than that, it's more of, just figuring out what the athlete wants. So if it's one-on-one, it's more not training for sport, but training what you need to be better in your sport. And then if it's a group, it's usually just keeping them active and moving for that sport or whatever they're doing with it. It could be boxing, MMA, tennis, so on. It don't have to be a team sport.
Right. That's so it's you don't just focus on like football players. It's it's just in athletics.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't even know jobs like that was like a thing.
Oh yeah.
You ever and what I know that a lot of people come there with talent, but what about those that have you ever had people that just didn't have the the talent that they were trying to push for?
Yeah, you get a lot of younger kids and some of the older ones. The younger ones you can get, I say, you can probably tell how good a kid's gonna be at 5, 6, 7 years old. Some of them, because we've had kids. Okay, we opened a gym in 2010. And in 2010 we had kids who were probably, I want to say they were in middle school at the time, and some of them are professional athletes now. But those kids, we were able to tell at that age, like, oh, this kid is awesome just because of their skill set at the time. Then you have some that's on the fence that's like, okay, maybe you can see at 12, usually around 12 years old, you can honestly say, like, to a kid, okay, yeah, this kid's gonna make it. Or you'd be like, okay, man, what are you trying to major in outside of sports?
Right.
Like, it's easy to tell, honestly.
Now, what about overzealous parents? Like,
Yeah.
father, trying to, live vicariously through his son.
So one thing that's funny is, like, I train some parents also, and I train like the whole family. So I have the athlete come in, and a kid will be struggling with certain movements, like they just can't get it for a while. Then I train that parent. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's when DNA comes into play. Like, you can tell that a kid, sometimes it's not their fault. It's literally just DNA. It's like their makeup is how they're made. So.
But what I mean is, do you remember Varsity Blues and Friday Night Lights? That father pushing his son.
Yeah, you have parents like that they'll burn their kids out. I've had kids who really, say like a volleyball girls, it's hard for a volleyball kid to go pro in their sport, so they have a lot of club stuff from youth all the way through high school. And I've probably had more volleyball girls go to college and quit after their first year because they just done with it. Then at the same time too, say a football player, you have kids who they're okay, but you have a dad who thinks they're better than okay, and they're trying to push them and do this and do that, but you can tell the kid's not really into it. They're just doing it. Sometimes kids are just doing it because they want to be around their friends.
Right.
So that's really how it goes.
Whenever I took Gio to a gym he was at when it was closer, and I remember like the other dads were like, I was talking to them, and like they were like, "How old is your boy?" And they were looking at him, and they were like they were looking at him up and down, like they were looking at him from his head to his toe. Like it wasn't like a normal like, "Oh, hey, that's your kid." It was like they were sizing him up. It was different, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" And I remember I was like, "Okay, this is a really competitive thing that this kid like he was kind of wanted to play football, but like I would watch him on the. I watched one of his games, and he just didn't have it in him. He just didn't have it in him. I could see it, and I was just like, this is not for you, dude. Like, and I mean, I just could see it. He's just not aggressive, And
and that's another thing too, especially with that sport. Just staying with football is you get a lot of kids. They want to play it because they see it on TV and it's fun to them, but then when they get into it, they don't realize like, oh, I got to be like kind of crazy, run full speed into somebody. Like they don't understand it until they put the pads on. Like, okay, this is more difficult than I thought.
But 40 years ago, whenever I was 8, that's all you had. We didn't have the multi-sports. I grew up, like the school I went to was a 6-man football.
Okay, yeah.
That's how small it was. So
I was in the band and everything. Yeah. The halftime show.
There was no band. There was, it was just, So, but there was a lot of, that was, West Texas. So I mean, that's a lot of Friday night lights.
What's crazy with football in Texas is, say you got moms in Little League, it'll be women who go to games. They don't even have a kid playing. It's like breeding. It's like, oh, this kid's good. I'm gonna bring my daughter around him. So like I've seen a lot of that from Little League to middle school, high school. It's like women be at games.
Not a bad strategy.
Yeah, they're just like breeding. It's like a breeding thing.
Not a bad strategy.
One thing I could tell you though that's good with Texas and your kid, it was a poll. I can't get the exact numbers, but it said if your kid was ranked in whatever sport in Texas, you can say like the top 20, say he's the top 20 athlete in whatever sport, it was like an 80% chance he was going to go pro in that sport. Oh, wow. Just because he competed in Texas, because Texas is like considered like a mecca of sports. Like you can go pro.
But also population.
Yeah.
If you look at the population, I know Texas isn't the number one population, but considering our size and population, it's a competition.
Yeah.
Now, what about the woke crowd? Have you ran into that? Have you run into the woke crowd? Oh, you know.
Oh, the woke crowd.
Yeah, the woke crowd.
You getting some people with the whole. It's moms who want their kids to play the whole concussion thing and stuff like that. So you got a lot of people who deal with that and like, the brutality of the sport. Then you got people who look like me. It's like, they just using you guys for sport. You got you black guys running around there for entertainment and. So I mean I see it. It was a thing like that back in the gladiator days, like where you take your top athletes and they're supposed to be dumb or whatever, or they call them back then. They just call them gladiators, and you make them compete against each other to death. And then it kind of like settled down with the Olympics, and I can't remember the exact year the Olympics started, but it was the same thing. Like, okay, we're gonna take slaves or people who we consider our best entertainers and make them compete in sport, but it was like to death, things like that nature.
Yeah.
So, but you had a crowd now of people who believe like sports is a distraction. I think you might have posted some stuff before.
Sure.
And it pretty much I agree. I played it and I love it and it's entertaining to watch, but I could see both sides where people see where it's just
me too.
Yeah, it's a.
I like fighting sports.
Yeah.
So I get it. The team sport's a little harder for me. And the idolizing people is hard for me, but I get it. I totally get it.
It's crazy because with the idolizing, I feel some people need it, and a lot of times, and it's crazy because a lot of kids who I see that idolize people, it motivates them. Like people need something. Like I don't want to go off track, but it's like the same thing with religion. Like some people need religion. Like you can believe or not believe, but I know people who say they don't believe, but they know it's needed because it keeps structure in your community.
Well, we have an internal moral system,
Right.
And people say, well, where did that come from? That just comes from being a good person.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that. What about the trans? Have you ran into it?
It's funny.
To walk around it.
It's funny because
you don't have to talk about it.
No. I don't believe in. I'll say, you guys like you can ban me from the show.
I'm not asking for your beliefs. I'm saying if you dealt with that situation.
No, I haven't dealt with it.
Yeah,
only thing I've got close to is say gymnastics with boys in gymnastics that I trained that were younger. I can honestly say this: I would put a kid in gymnastics, a boy, but it comes from stuff at home too. But I've had coaches tell me you can use it for a good ground base of training, which it does work. But if you don't want him to like start floating to that other side, then take him out around like 6 or 7 years old, because you could adapt to what your surroundings. Some boys might be like, I think me or Jay, we probably would have been more like, hell yeah, I'm around girls all day. That's fun. Right. Then you got some boys that like that's all they know, so they kind of like, I want to be like them and move like them and talk like them. And I've seen little boys. I've had dads actually with kids who weren't in gymnastics, and it's probably like a dad's biggest fear. My son is not. He's homosexual. That's the word I guess I'm supposed to use. It's a fear. So I could probably count on one hand about 3 or 4 dads when I trained their sons who were younger. I had a dad one time. It was so fun. He came to me. He's like, "Hey man, what do you think about Chris?" I'm like, "Man, he's pretty good." He's like, "No, like I'm like, how's he seem to you?" I kind of think I know what he means, but I'm trying to dance around it. I'm like, he's a good kid. He's he's well mannered, and he's like, that's my thing, man. He be with his mom and his sister all the time. I work a lot, and he be doing shit. I can cuss on this part, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. he be doing shit, and it's like he's like it. It's kind of like, nah, man, you can't be doing that, and stuff like that. So he's like, do you think? I'm like, he's kind of. I say I wouldn't say he is, but he's picking up their mannerisms. So I think a lot of that with that stuff in sports, because we've had homosexual guys in sports with what's the guy's name? I can't remember who played. Golly, he got drafted, but
oh yeah, I remember that.
It's one of those things where on TV, I know guys say the right thing.
Right.
You got to be politically correct on TV, but in the locker room, it's like one of those things like.
Yeah.
He won't survive. Like I gotta say, a guy like that won't survive. It's because we used to have this thing like, oh, we got a meat watcher. Yeah. That's what they used to say. We got a meat watcher. So the thing is though, with my generation, me and Jay, I don't know how old you are. I know we grew up in the 80s and late 70s. I guess you probably. Yeah.
So you were like kind of a baby in the 70s, though, right?
In our era,
76.
76, yeah, baby. Then
like in our era, it was almost like a disease. If like you see a homosexual person or somebody who's trans, like you don't catch it, like you're around them. And even in the locker room, like, oh man, you get mad. One thing I can say about these kids are, what's the word? They're sweethearts now. A lot of the kids now, the majority of them are sweethearts. I've seen a bunch of high school straight kids hang around when they have a gay boy in their group of friends, but there's like, oh, it's our friend, like blah blah blah.
It's society has become very progressive towards that. Being inclusive and being more in a utopia.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. They're not
like what I mean?
Haters. Like
because nobody needs to feel outcast.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean?
I know bullying is still in school.
Right.
And bullying is still bad, but bullying is not near what it was when I was a child.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more people that are like, don't be bullying people.
Right.
More people are going to stand up.
And like, y'all were the skinny kids in school, and I was the fat kid in school. So, I went through all that, and now all the kids in school are fat, so there wouldn't be, You know what I mean?
One thing with me with the sports training and whatever, I get to be around. I have other friends who tell me, and I think Jake kind of does with his business because he's around people who come in who are younger a lot, so you kind of stay in the know of what's going on a little bit. Even with me, it's even from music to other things. I just sit back and watch. I'm like, damn, this kid would have been crying if he went to school with me, or this girl. Like even the way they act, they're so well mannered. To some of them, to an extent, like I have a group of athletes coming in there, girls and guys. If there was my age group back then, we'd have been all over the girls doing training. We can't focus. They come in now. I have to tell the boys, like, man, you don't talk to those girls. Oh, I got a girlfriend. Like, they be so, like, into it with each other. Now, I had one kid, a boy, who's, I forgot the word. He's, like, all over. He loves everybody. I forgot the name of it. They like everybody. Like, I'm boys and girls and
bisexual?
trans. Like, we all just say it's homosexual, just gay, but they have different. They have
right. I think
they have so many letters now.
Sexual.
Yeah. But I forgot what the girl said. It was like, oh no, he's binary or something they called it.
Binary.
Yeah.
He has no
Like,
sex.
he has no sex. So if he likes somebody, he likes them.
Dipping in this world, dipping in that world.
And the thing was
Living
crazy
life.
about it, I'm not saying his names or nothing like that, but this kid's a top, I think he's in the top 20 in his sport in Texas.
Right.
Like he's a known athlete, and it's
but
different.
And what I like about that story though is the sexuality doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He's not pushing his agenda.
Yeah.
And, he's just playing the sport.
Yeah.
And if you don't push an agenda, people love you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So why don't you start opening your fucking mouth?
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everybody.
for me in my world, video games have started becoming woke.
Yeah, I do that too. I'm banned right now from a game.
However, gamers are starting to fight back because there's a woke game that came out called Concord, and Sony. It took 8 years to produce and about $200 million.
Right.
It came out, and 2 weeks later, there wasn't enough players to justify it, so they shut it down and refunded everybody's money.
Right.
And it's because of the woke crowd and then this other game called Star Wars Outlaws.
Outlaws. It just came like 2 weeks ago.
The woke crowd, the gamers are shutting it down because of how woke it is.
Damn.
I haven't got I've downloaded. So what's the problem with that?
Well, the way the main character looks is horrible. They downplayed her a lot. It should not attractive at all. Is what I haven't seen.
Oh, she has to be attractive. Okay.
Well, I mean, you think about gamers.
She's no Laura Croft.
No, and then the stealth on it is all messed up. There's a lot of gaming glitches. They just had, people paid $130 for the pre-access.
130 is crazy.
So they played for those 3 days before everybody else, and they were encountering all these glitches. Well, Ubisoft releases a update that wipes out all the, all your progress is gone. So all that money you paid to early access.
I've seen also too, and I don't know how one game can ban you from a system of video games, but they say like with Call of Duty, like I'm banned now, but I know around it. But it's one of those things, and I guess when we were growing up, I don't hate other races, but we had a thing like, oh, that's gay, or you gay. We say it. I don't not necessarily mean I hate gay people.
It's what we call.
It's just something like, oh, that's gay, but it don't mean they say like it's gay or bad. Like it's just whatever. But as soon as you say, it's funny with Call of Duty. As soon as you say anything that's feel like it's derogatory towards the letter people, it's an automatic. Like the ban comes on within seconds.
Really?
It says penalty. But I can say racist slurs all day and nothing happens.
It's the algorithm.
Nothing happens. But as soon as you say, are you G word, or you F whatever, chat penalty pops up. You can't even talk to the people that's in your lobby, like your friends. I can't even talk to you. It's funny. So crazy. And it's another game they just released too, the Black Wukong.
Yeah.
Black Wukong, people had an issue. That's how you know people don't read. They had an issue with the guy being a monkey.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right, and then.
But it's a whole story behind that.
It's the.
They didn't just make him a monkey.
And they were mad. They're also mad because there wasn't enough kinds of monkeys.
Yeah.
There wasn't no blue-haired, non-binary identified monkey. Yeah, but then the game sold billions of dollars. Is up to $1 billion now, I think, as far as the revenue.
Right.
Because that's how high it got.
Yeah.
This Space Marines 2 just came out, and it's it's actually just dethroned Wukong for wish list because it's just like Gears of War, and it's bloody and horrible.
Okay.
Totally different than Star Wars Outlaws.
No, I like it though. That's another game I actually downloaded and haven't really got to play it yet because it's like I heard it's like a boss on bosses on bosses, like you 300 some bosses you got.
It's Wukong.
But it's pretty dope. No, the Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah.
It might. You might like that game.
I watched some gameplay of it.
They say it's kind of on the God of War type line of stuff, but
I don't like God of War. I don't like puzzles that much.
Yeah,
this is just killing,
run around, journey mostly, like traveling.
Thrasher or hack and slash.
Hack and slash.
And the thing is, they say you gotta, if you fight one monster or boss, whatever, it's never the same fight if you lose. Like you can't just like, oh, he's gonna do this combination. Like he changes every time.
There is a pattern. There's a lot of they do have patterns.
Yeah.
But some of them you just have to learn it.
You got to learn the pattern.
You have to go through it a long time.
That
sucks.
I mean, some of the on the Facebook and YouTubes, some are like 800 times.
Yeah.
Just to beat this one boss.
It's some guy, I forgot his name. A friend of mine sent it to me. I guess he's like the top player now. He died a total of 5 times through the whole game.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like that's almost like, oh, he had to be cheating, because they say you could spend a whole day, and my nerves are bad, a whole day fighting one freaking boss.
Yeah.
Before you beat him.
Are you gonna have to delete everything on your PlayStation to get Grand Theft Auto? It's gonna be big, right? I feel like
I'm going to move towards
delete.
PC when I get there.
Are you?
I'm gonna go towards PC.
I'm gonna wait.
After it's out for a while?
Yeah, after it's out for a month.
Why?
Because it glitches.
Why? Who gives a shit?
Because if it's glitchy, you can't.
You just don't want to lose your points and shit.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I mean,
so when that drops out, we all should need to be on PC so we can just start our own because you can mod it on PC.
Yeah, that's what looks fun.
Yeah,
that looks fun. Some of the videos you send me are stupid. Courtney sends me some stupid shit where there's people just fucking doing dumb shit.
And they're mad if something happens to the
pulling up. Yeah, it was like pretty crazy when he pulled up to that funeral. Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto Online.
He pulls up to this funeral, and it's for a player in the game, I guess. And I was like, it's probably somebody that actually played the game. And Courtney's like, yeah, they do that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They have role-playing servers.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, like this one guy was just riding his bike, and the guy grabbed him off of it, and he got all mad. And I was like, what is he doing anyway, riding a bike?
Like people will sit. Like, what's the show we watch on Netflix? The Black Mirror.
Some shit
and
like
people
that.
really sit in their house and get on those games and literally just live.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And that goes back to the idolized, or it might be people who are just socially awkward. And some people just get on there and have fun, but you have some people who get on there and I'm cool on this game, so they'll sit there for hours and just wander around the virtual world.
They're streamers.
Well, yeah, you have those too.
Even they're not even popular streamers. They're just the new guy on Twitch.
Right.
He's just figuring shit out.
You have the rapper T Grizzly, who made more money, I think, in a couple of months streaming than he did in his whole rap career.
Really?
Yeah, because people get onto it. He get commercial promos for big companies and other advertisement ads. It's like making millions of dollars just streaming a game.
You just gotta get lucky, or what?
You gotta be on there. You gotta be entertaining.
The algorithm's gotta choose you.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of Twitch. I mean, you just got to
Twitch channel and YouTube channel.
Use the right hashtags. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you got to be on there constantly. I
think I've always been shadow banned on most social media. I think so. They just deleted my Instagram out of nowhere. I can't even get back into that one I had.
Well, so one thing I've learned with Instagram, because I have a friend who does business on there, and I've tried to tell him, people don't get it. Instagram and Facebook is a business, and now you're on here trying to sell shoes through your business and getting mad because they're like, bro, you're using. That's like me going into your tattoo shop and
sell something
and selling stuff, but not trying to pay no rent, no whatever, or just setting up my own business in the front of the thing. Hey, I'm selling training. We're gonna work out and do squats right here in front of the gym, and he charges me nothing. He gets nothing from it. So people think they can just get on Instagram and Facebook and just sell products with no type of backfire from it. But he's using other companies. He does shoes, and he'll do other companies' logos on the shoes, sports teams. And those sports teams, the NFL, hey, it's people on y'all's platform, not just him, who does custom shoes, but they're putting our team logos, which have licenses to them, and making money from it. But so those people don't get in trouble. Instagram gets in trouble because they're letting them do it. Yeah. Now you have other businesses, I guess yours. You're not doing too much, far as promoting other businesses, but they have an issue where if you ever look at your own site, it tells you how much traffic you're bringing
sometimes,
in.
Not really.
So they feel like if you're garnishing a lot of energy, because I've got these messages, if you're bringing a lot of traffic to your page, they'll send you, hey, you want to be monetized? They'll say that first, and if you ignore that for a while, it's okay, now you're using music on your videos and this and that, and your page is getting too much attention, and we kind of know that you're a trainer and you're a tattoo artist, so now you're kind of making money off of this because you're not necessarily selling on the site, but we know the more traffic you get from a reel means people are probably coming to your business and they're talking to you in your DM. So it's not necessarily saying, hey, I'm a tattoo artist and I have this for sale, blah, blah, blah. Or I'm a trainer, I have this for sale, because we both do it. It's now you're making enough where they consider traffic going to that page where it's considered, hey, that's too many people. Okay, like 100 people could come, but when they feel like, dang, you went from 100 people on your page this week that's engaged and stuff to your post had 1,000 likes. There's too many people now. You're kind of making money off our business.
I think I've gotten more business from that truck. I've gotten more people following me, like, and like they'll post photos and they'll be like over here in this area, and I'll be like, oh, you're at this place, and they'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's like my neighborhood, or that's like, you know, where I'm at, you know, and so like it's getting me a lot of followers, just the truck. I think that's where a lot of it's coming from.
You should put
Sometimes I think about just parking it out at the end of the neighborhood, just so cars driving by will see the truck. You know what I mean?
Because first they're going to think, oh, is this in the neighborhood? Like,
yeah, they're going to think something, you know? But they'll just see the name, and, you know, people are like, oh, they like the way it looks, so they just fucking follow. And I was like, okay. I've been hearing him scream my name for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Daddy! Play your game for your fucking self, dude. Oh, man, you know what? He dropped the PlayStation earlier, and now it turns on, but the HDMI doesn't fucking do shit.
Oh.
What do? You think I can get that fixed, or just buy a new one?
What's funny is it's stuff that I thought you couldn't fix. I think you could probably go like PlayStation. I don't know how long you've had it, and just check like some type of warranty thing. Like, hey, can I just send this in? How much to get this fixed?
Yeah, okay.
Like, just Google and go to PlayStation and see how much.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what I'll do. We'll see. But I think it probably fucked up the little HDMI port or something like that, you know?
Well, it fucked something like, I think it fucked the video card up is what I think, because, you know.
I just tried not to get mad. That was it. I just did my best. No, I didn't get mad. I was just like...
Was he trying to move it somewhere?
I don't know. I think he's mad about couldn't do something. He's like, every time he plays, he calls me up and down the whole time. Man. Up and down, up and down. He'll like have me play some parts he can't do.
Gotta get it mounted.
So he'll have me play it. Yeah, right. And I don't know. I think he just had it plugged up for no reason. And he just yanked it wrong. So
there was a controller at it or something.
Nah, I hope not. I was like, this is what happens. He's like, ooh, start crying. Did we get another one? I'm like, not right now, dude.
You get the PlayStation Pro when it drops, the cheaper one or whatever.
Yeah, that Pro comes out in a month, I think.
And what does that do?
It drops the price on the
portal.
Well, there's no disc or what?
Well, yeah, it's a better processor.
It's just better processor and smaller. Supposed to be smaller.
Oh, okay. Jenny would just buy a new one and send it back. Take the new one, keep the new one, send the other one back.
Yeah, they keep. I mean, it may work, but they usually, can tell by the scan numbers.
Yeah, Amazon don't be doing that.
No, that's true. They just okay, fuck it.
Yeah, they're like, okay, this is your package, no box, okay. Take one. What do you got to do tonight?
I'm supposed to go to a dinner.
A dinner.
Yeah.
A dinner.
Have dinner.
That's nice. Don't miss that at all.
You got kids, Courtney?
Yeah, I have a 13-year-old.
Jesus Christ.
13 years old.
Woo.
Girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Daddy's girl.
One thing I do, and I'm glad she's like me in this way, she's social, but she's a social loner also, so she's not like out and about or trying to be out or doing stuff like that. So I'm kind of happy about that. Her mom says some boy do be calling, whatever, and she said she made sure she like showed the kid my page one day. And she like the calls went down a little bit. She's like, oh, this is Jules' dad right here. He comes around and he wanted to meet you. She said the kid looked like he's a big dude. So, but I'm cool. She's a good kid. Like I always feel like you ain't gotta worry about your girls. The girls that I knew that were bad because they were too sheltered.
Right.
They didn't let them like go nowhere or do anything. If you keep them sheltered, that's when they try shit now behind your back. So,
what mothers raise daughters to be women, dads raise daughters to be ladies.
Yeah.
Dads shouldn't raise daughters at all.
No.
That's what I heard one time. It's a woman's job to teach the woman to be a woman.
How to be, yeah.
And that's why we got. And that's
job.
why we have what we have. But
masculine women.
Strong, independent
Yeah.
But
That's why the one thing I
good
learned.
fathers raise ladies, not 3 or 4s.
So like with me, what I've heard too is like if you're a single dad with a little girl, it's like the women you also bring around too, so they see certain like, and they most girls love their dads, and they see if your dad like this type of woman, well they say, well maybe that's probably I'm supposed to be like that or something. Like no.
That's what I mean. Good fathers raise ladies.
Yeah.
Including all the female influences in his daughter's life, whether it be his the mother of that of his daughter, and stay positive about her. Don't be that don't degrade them. You're a mother. You're always respectful. So that's awesome. So she's gonna see this one day. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Search it out.
Stretch it out.
Search it out.
No, just it's gonna come up eventually. Because I talked to Jay about this too, because his sons.
God.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for her when she's 18?
That's a few years away, so
Yeah.
really, I just want her to do everything she wants to do. That's you're gonna make mistakes. So if I make mistakes, like I tell parents now that come in too with their kids, they're like, oh, they try to keep you from doing stuff. I'm like, you only learn how to live by living. You mess up, you learn from your mistakes, you move on. I think also at home with the proper upbringings, you'll trust your kid to know what's super wrong and what's super bad, so they won't make those mistakes. I've been in places where I know people are about to do something so stupid to where I'm like, nah, I'm chilling on that. Like, I'm not that dumb. Like, I'll do this, I'll do that, but I'm not gonna go too far. I have a friend of mine actually he was in the army. He's older. He's probably around your age, Barry. But he has 2 girls, and I thought it was funny. One time I came to his house to eat. This was like years ago when I was at that gym Gio came to, and he was pouring us a drink, but he poured I was like, what if we do? Take some shots? His daughters were 13 and 10. He lets them taste certain things if they're curious, but he pours like even smaller than a shot. He'll pour them some. He's like, "You've been to college, right, CB?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How those girls act when they've never been drinking before? They be the ones like all over the place. Then you have some girls who like they drink, but they like know how to control themselves because they've learned how to drink and be responsible. If you let a kid go straight to college and now it's their first time free." She's gonna be pregnant the first semester of school and back home talking about, oh, I'll go back to school next year, or then that next year turns into another year. I mean, it still depends. Like some people might not do that, some do, but he's like they already know what kind of liquor they like. And 13 years old, but other countries
that works out.
Yeah, but see what the thing is. So I've had athletes that are from other countries who are younger, and the kids are way mature than American kids. Right. And it's just because of the stuff they see and how they said Americans sexualize everything. That's what I had a bunch of foreigners tell me that from Paris to like London.
Yeah, we're like obsessed with that.
They said we obsessed sex with everything. This girl was telling me, she's like, I can't even say hi to a guy before the little pink thing comes out. He gets all excited thinking, oh, she likes me. And he said in our country, it's just, we're polite. Like some countries, they hug and kiss on the cheek. You hug. She's like, you hug a kiss an American guy on the cheek. He was like, oh yeah, I got her. Like they start thinking like they don't know how to be friends. Right. And I see that too. I would think that too. I said, but once I learned other cultures, it's like okay.
Yeah, I'd be excited. Be like, wow, a woman touched me.
But no, so like going back to Ashley, like my daughter, like I just tell her just live. Just you know right from wrong. As far as if it's drugs or this and that, having a kid could, probably slow down whatever you're trying to do if you're trying at a young age. But other than that, it's like I just feel live and learn. I've done stuff that other kids haven't done, and I feel like I turned out okay. It's just I learned my lesson. I've tried certain things like okay, that one time I'm done with that, and moved on.
That's respectful. What questions do you have, Jay?
I don't have any questions. I know him.
Y'all known each other how long?
Fuck, I don't know. A long time.
I don't know, wherever you
elementary?
I was in 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah, I used to see him in the hallway. We weren't really friends then, though. But I would see him in the hallway with his backpack full of books.
He's a bully, try to stuff me in my locker.
Really, I believe that.
He wasn't big back then.
He wasn't big back then. I believe Jay was a bully.
He had like fucking high water pants on and shit.
Were you really a nerd?
I never told him though. The reason they have all my books, because I came from a, I guess, less money school. I was in Aldine District.
Right.
I got kicked out. I don't know if I ever told you I got kicked out. So I got kicked out of Aldine District. That's how I ended up at Wonderlic. Now, this is my first time seeing lockers and stuff like that. So my first 2 days I was super late because I didn't know how to work combination locks. I kept messing it up. I was like, forget that thing, man. I'll finally get over in the morning. I'll put all my books in my backpack for the day and just walk with them.
Bro, them locks were hard. Them locks were hard as shit.
You guys are fucking big.
I had such a hard time. Yeah.
Like, everybody always
genetic at all.
Everybody always just thought I was like this. He's
like Conan.
Yeah, Brooks is just this nerd. He loves class. He always got his book. Like, no, I'm just dumb.
I just figured you're getting yelled at home or something at your school.
I can't remember this combination. Like, my mind was so I can't remember this number.
I had a hard time with them lockers too, man. Them combinations were hard.
Because my thing is, I was in athletics, so I had 2 of them.
Right.
I'm like, golly, this is
I just, I whenever I got mine open, then I would jimmy it to where it just, because I didn't ever keep anything but books. They steal it. They steal it. I had nothing to hide. Yeah. So I just jimmied it, and dude, I never locked my locker.
And somebody told me one day they finally like, just write it in your. Somebody said put the number on a piece of paper and put it in your backpack or put it in on your wallet if you have a wallet. So I finally did that, but for the longest time I was just like backpack every class, full of books.
And then you got that big.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm telling my kids to do that. Yeah, that's a good strategy.
But you're supposed to walk around with a weighted vest or something.
I do it sometimes.
So think about it. Sixth, 7th grade. So it's 13, 14 years old. You're out there. The balls are dropping. And, testosterone starting. So you get a weighted vest of 50-pound books.
Yeah.
They don't even have books no more, so they wouldn't even work no more.
Right. Yeah, it's all
secret. Swing, swing chair.
Swing chariot.
Yeah. Swing high, swing chariot. That song, yeah.
It's like the only one any white person knows.
But no, it's those days was funny, man. Like when I first got there, it was just a whole culture shock for me when I transferred to that school over here.
Was it more white?
Yeah, it was like we had white kids where I was coming from, but we were predominantly black and Hispanic.
A different culture, probably.
And then the black kids over here weren't even the same black kids that I knew from home. I actually got into it with a guy who's actually a good friend now. Because it was my first week at that school was his birthday that weekend, and he asked me for a sleepover, and I said, a what? He's like, we're having a sleepover. So I hit him. I won't say no names. So I hit him. They actually stayed in his neighborhood. It was funny. So we get in this little fight or whatever, and I'm telling the counselor and the principal, was Mr. Salachi.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing? We know what you did at your old school. We can't come over here with all this, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, well, he asked me to come sleep over and stuff. Like, well, what's wrong with that? I'm like, oh, yeah, all these people are weird. They all like sleepovers now. So it was a lady, I can't remember her name. She was, I guess you could say, from my type of area. She was like, honey, what do you do when you and your cousins are like your grandma's house or somebody's house and nobody wants to go home? What do you ask your mom, can you do? I'm like, I want to spend the night, can we stay? She said, it's the same thing. I'm like, well, he said sleepover, that's different. It's like, no, it's not, it's the same. She said, you're in a different area, they say sleepover, it's not to spend the night. So I'm like, okay, then I said, oh, my bad, man. And he was like, he just says, my bad.
I invite you to a party and punch me in the face.
But that whole thing, that era was so funny because that was the first time I was around black kids saying dude and it was, and it is funny because in this neighborhood, the guy who stays around the corner, so I ended up going to this party or sleepover or whatever. So my mom buys me a phone, and it's like cell phones are kind of new, so she gets me a cell phone to use because we're all about, don't be staying at people's house, they be trying to touch kids or rich folks or whatever.
Scary shit.
Yeah, some weird, this weird shit. Like, so it's the first time I'm staying at people's house who are, I guess, more money and stuff like that. So, you see stuff on TV, all that. What was the show that was out at the time? It was America's Most Wanted, John Walsh, I guess. Yeah, so you watch those stories and people staying at these nice houses and the uncles go into people's room and touch on the kids or whatever. But for me, it was another culture shock. Was like, I get over there and his mom was like, hey, this is your room. I'll get my own room for sleep or to spend the night. Like, I'm used to everybody laying in one living room or something.
Oh, they had it going on though.
Yeah,
the guest room.
Then they get, you got a TV. I'm like, this TV got 99 channels. Like, where's just 26, 13, and like channel 2 and 39?
Yeah, I remember everybody thought I was fucking rich. And like, we came from like a really small house over here, and we came from Greenspoint before that. And then everybody always thought I was rich just because of like where I went to school and shit like that.
And I was just neighborhood.
Like we were so broke. We didn't have no TV. Like we didn't have none of that shit. We didn't have any of that shit. And we lived in this neighborhood, the same neighborhood now, but it was like considered a rich kid.
Yeah, it was like super nice looking.
I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Like these houses were, I guess they were new houses at the time.
They were newer.
Yeah, they were newer.
Like 20 years old back then, I think.
Yeah, and so like you come over here, coming from where I came from, every house was one story, and just hood and people walking down the street drunk type stuff. And then I come to a nice neighborhood, like, these houses I see on TV and the cars.
I just remember when I went to jail and I would tell them where I'm from. I'd be like, the northwest side of town. They'd be like, oh, you're rich. I'd be like,
yeah.
Or I'd say 1960. They'd be like, you're rich.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what? I'm not fucking rich. I'm rich. We don't got cable. What are you talking about?
Living in a single wide mobile home.
That's what you grew up in?
A swamp for a few years.
Really?
With a swamp cooler.
Yeah, could you flush your toilet paper?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In a septic system or no?
Yeah, it was a
Oh, you had a rich trailer.
Yeah. Oh, fancy.
You were moving up though a little bit.
I remember when I learned that about trailers, I was like, what? I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I remember I still would just flush it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. I never lived in one for very long. I just stayed with some people in one.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem where I want to be,
No.
It doesn't really feel very safe. Like if a real storm comes through, you're a goner.
Oh, yeah.
You're a goner.
That's why you get insurance,
Yeah.
Life insurance.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If anybody's left.
Carried away.
Yeah.
But no, this funny though, because anytime I come over here, it's like a whole nostalgia feel to me on this side of town, because like I just see certain areas I remember, like riding a bike down this street or being with a group of kids at this gas station in this little area. So it's different.
So how bad was the racism, whenever you would come over here to hang out?
I don't think over here it wasn't bad. Like people were good people around here.
Like because we kind of grew up together, and like there was no real racism.
Yeah,
like, I never really experienced that shit. Like it was just like something you saw on TV.
The stuff I did experience, it wasn't because you probably don't even know if like our school was considered the minority school in the district.
Yeah.
But it was stuff like at the time when we used to go to Klein High School. And I probably knew every black kid at Klein High School at the time.
There was like 3 or something.
Yeah, and it was like when we played games against Klein, and it was so obvious. Like we'll get so many like penalties.
Right.
Like that's that kind of stuff. Like it's like, oh, y'all just doing wrong. You did this wrong. But it'd be like, oh, they only had one penalty to y'all this many, and then we'll say I complain to the referee, and the referee wouldn't say too much. He'll like fuss at me and like, just get back to her before I throw you out. Then the kid from Klein will say something. He was like, oh, okay, like he was listening to him.
You're right.
Like bro, like I've experienced that kind of stuff, and I would say I had a teacher actually though at the high school that we went to. She was, I don't want to say she was racist, but
she was just old, huh?
Yeah, she was older.
Was this in the 90s?
Yeah, she was older, so she would say stuff like, oh, I would see a kid ask for something that didn't look like me.
Yeah.
Then I ask, but she'll get this big attitude, or certain kids be laughing and playing, and it'll be me or another kid to say like look like you guys, but she'll call my name out.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna be in that pumpkin patch one day over there across the street. It was like this pumpkin patch thing across from the high school. And so that's where you gonna end up at. Like I think these days, if you say that to a kid, you'll probably be fired now. Like the whole woke community.
Jail.
There was somebody to tell now. I don't think there was nobody to tell back then.
Nobody.
Who you gonna tell?
That's why I say she was old.
Yeah, she was older. Yeah.
So that was their that's what their generation.
Right.
Because I heard that little colored boy over there.
That was
I'm
a
teacher.
That was a big one with me growing up.
Yeah.
So older people.
So that's but
I would just be like, what?
But,
what did you say?
And there wasn't anybody to tell back then because if a teacher says something to you, what are you gonna do? Tell another teacher? They just.
So it's not. It might not be funny to some people. Like I'm one of those people in jail. Tell you, I'm like I don't get butthurt about like if somebody brings up like racist type jokes and stuff like that. We talk about it, but I had another friend, a white guy. I went to his house before. This grandma was like super old. She was old, but she was nice to me. But the word she would use to tell him when I was there was like, I was like, come on, like
she used the hard R.
Yeah, she'll say like your colored friend and stuff like that.
Colored friend.
But then she'll ask me if I want something to eat like right after that.
She's old, man.
Yeah, it was like you can't.
But
say
do you
that.
think like so? Let's say like let's say 90 Day Fiance, right?
Yeah.
The white woman goes over there to Africa. What do you think they say about her? Because it's an all black community.
Yeah.
What do you think they call her? The fucking white one, or
the white devil? I don't
you know what I mean? Is it just like because they don't ever see that color? You know, I guess because that's more what they didn't really see that many colored people at all.
Oh, you know what's funny though? So the gym I was at, the gym I'm at now, I think this was like 2011, 2012. I had to train a homeschool kid from Kingwood. Now think about Kingwood.
Yeah.
I trained, and they lived in. So think about Kingwood. Kingwood, and the front of Kingwood is diverse now, I guess you could say. Then they have Old Kingwood, the very back. They call it Old Money.
Yeah.
So it's like they have little schools back there. So this lady used to come in, white lady, and her son, and she had a baby son who was like 4 or 5 years old, but he was always stare at me hard, just stare all day. He just looks at me. And
never seen one before.
so she came back to me one day, and she was real cool because she kind of came up, and then they moved up and moved whatever. She's like, Courtney, I realized why he stares at you so hard, and he kind of like gets behind me and looks at you. She said, you're the only black person he knows. So I was like you don't see her? She said, no. She said, we stay in the back of Kingwood. She said his school, the preschool he goes to, is one kid, literally one black kid. And the fact that they knew that was kind of still funny to me.
Yeah.
But she said he's not in his class, so she don't see him. Then she said they was watching some on TV one day because kids usually just watch cartoons.
Right.
So she said he just happened to be looking at the TV she's watching. It was regular TV, and a black person came on TV, and he goes, Coach CB. Just a random, like nobody even looked like me, but she's he's dark. Yeah.
My youngest baby does that. We'll just be watching TV, and it'll just be a woman.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like his mom. He'll go, Mama. And I go, okay.
Yeah.
You go, Mama.
Latino
woman. That looks like mom. Not even a Latino woman. Be like any color. Doesn't matter. I'm just like, okay. Yeah, she's probably a mama. That's what I just say.
So I just thought it was funny. Like, that's why he does that.
That's funny.
He wasn't scared. It was just like different. Like, why is he so different? Like everybody in the house, my school kind of has this big, but it's like, what's going on with you?
I'm sure I've told you the story about the first time I ever saw a black person.
I don't think so.
There's pictures of it. It's like I remember, like, it was my grandparents' friend Joe, and it was like some guy that my grandpa used to like help out. That used to come from down the road and shit, and he would give him stuff to do. And he came in the house, and I was little, and I just remember it scared the shit out of me. I'd never seen a black person before.
Dude.
Yeah, and like he's like, there's a picture of him holding me and me screaming and kicking. Yeah, I had to find that shit someday.
You did that.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Put on a t-shirt like beginning of racism.
Yeah.
This is where racism started.
Have you ever seen that one picture of where that little white kid goes to Africa and all those black kids are surrounding him?
No.
And it's the same thing. It's like, you know, like when you see all the white people surrounded by around one black person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like the first time they'd ever seen each other. And I was just like, I get it. It's all the same.
Right.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
I just never saw any racism growing up. That's the thing. I
didn't get that hard like they have it on TV. Even from racism to the bullying and stuff. Like you never see no bullies like that.
Right.
Yeah, never really had too many bullies. Not that I can remember.
Because you were the bully.
I was about to sit there and have people tell you probably were the bully. That's why I was like, no.
You're just big.
Because like, I'm cool with everybody.
Yeah. It's like that big, man.
I'm cool with most people, so I don't know. I don't think so.
What's the dating world like for you?
Dating world?
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, you're my age now, right? How old are you?
42.
Okay, you're younger.
Yeah.
Younger.
I mean, oh man. That kind of goes back to my dating now. It's kind of like what I just told you about, like, even with my daughters. I'm kind of picky now.
Yeah.
Even more because
You're going to be alone forever.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want her around my daughter. And then Jay will tell you, I ask people who are married, like, how you with this one person for like this long? Like, it was like, I feel like they just, my opinion, it's like, man, you just settled. Like, you with this person, like, you don't. And I feel like some people like, so I'll never look at another one. No, you've looked at people. Don't say you've never looked at another woman in 30 years. Like, you probably look and say somebody. Cause I have an uncle who's married. He's like, it's nothing wrong with like, oh, that person is beautiful. It's just now. He said we go by these laws of man of not
it's just
acting
about desire.
on it.
It's about desire. Like, you know, it's your animal desire. Do you want to like follow your animal desire? Because that's your animal in you. Like, just like, oh my god, look at that bitch. You know what I mean? And it's like, but like, do you want to follow through with that, or are you like, what path are you on?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you just gotta choose.
Like, I'm dating or whatever, but it's more for me. It's like, I'm taking it day by day.
Day by day.
It's hard dating.
I tell people I gotta get past, and my mom even tell me I gotta get past my. She told me I'm like my grandfather was, even though him and my grandma was married for years, happy. It's just, she said you gotta learn how to, and I'm learning. I told myself this by reading and stuff, like compromise and all that stuff. Like nobody's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, nobody. Right. Yeah.
And you gotta get. It's like certain pet peeves I deal with. It's like. You gotta stop letting them pet peeves be deal breakers.
They're gonna lie to you too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, they're gonna lie to you just to get in there. And so, like, I don't know what it is with me and Jennifer. Like, it's just I don't know. I don't want to be with anybody else. I know that. And so, like, that's interesting for me because I never really felt like that before.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I just wouldn't want to be with nowhere else. It's like,
well, I'm the same way. I mean, and I am really lucky. I am really, really lucky with the one that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, because she's a trad wife. You know,
she's a what?
She's a she falls under that trad wife, type.
Tribe wife?
Trad. Like traditional.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really lucky. But I remember being single and trying to date, and it sucks. There's no way around it.
And see, for my thing is, I'm in the mindset of not trying and just trying to let it happen.
Well, that's what I mean. Just but being in the dating world, the dating world is full of poop.
Yeah. I think it's like compromise is one way you can look at it, or you can look at it like give and take. Like, what are you willing to give?
Right.
Like, what are you willing to give up in order to get something else?
But then it's hard. Women have such high expectations. They're all looking for the same guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, the first time she fussed about me being on the game, she's out of there type deal. I'm like, okay, dog, this is my thing. You want me at home?
And that's she tells me, play your video game. I want
what is it? Bread and circus, baby.
What's so funny about that? I have a group of guys that I play with are like around our age, and they're married, and I just be like, oh, that sucks. Like, I'll hear one of my boys will be on. He's like, "This is my last one, fellas. Like, we just got on." Like, yeah, she like,
some of you guys like to play way too long, though.
She's in that tripping.
Some of you motherfuckers like to play so long, though. Like, I don't know how you play a game longer than an hour. I'm done after an hour. It's so tough.
We do be on there. Oh, I think one of our longest sessions post-COVID, probably been like Well, I'm still probably lying when I say 6 hours. It's probably longer. Like it's a Saturday, I'm off. I'll get on there like 11 in the morning to be on there till like midnight.
World of Warcraft. Remember that game?
Yeah.
Whenever it was good, now it's just a money farm for them. But whenever it's good and challenging,
that's what all the older gamers say. Everything they be mad about every game.
Well, because they turned it into an easy game, and when they start selling the in-game currency through microtransactions back then, it wasn't even where you bought it from the game. You'd buy it from a vendor farm.
Person, right? Yeah.
They have vendor farms in India and whatnot. That's their job, is just play the game, collect gold, and then sell it. But anyway, back whenever that first came out, it was really challenging, and you met people. I played World of Warcraft for probably 24 hours, at a time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow.
6, 7 hours.
Like that. Yeah.
And then wild. That Baldur's Gate 3, there's times where I'd log in at 8. Wake up on a Saturday morning. All right, I'm not hungover. In this game, I'm gonna see what so I play the game, and my house is all dark curtains, and so the sun would come up. I'd see the sun, but I wouldn't pay attention, and that's back when I was on diet meds like phentermine.
Yeah. And
so no eating.
Yeah.
Just drink and play this game. This Baldur's Gate 3, and then it'd be nighttime. Like my bedtime alarm would go off.
Right.
It was like shit. That's 12, 13 hours.
That's funny. That's a lot.
I have ADHD.
Yeah.
I have Asperger's.
I'm glad games can't get me like that.
Yeah.
So.
For me, it's just relaxing. I don't know.
Relaxing? Whatever.
I think it's relaxing once I got better at certain games. 'Cause I used to be stressed out with certain games. Sure. Like, everybody's shitting on me and blah blah.
Yeah.
See, I don't like playing online. In here because I don't. You gotta talk to people, and I don't like talking to people. So I just stay with single player.
I got used to it. I got used to it really fast, especially on that game I was playing, that zombies. That shit was fun as hell to me. When they had the glitch, it was fun. Once they fixed that glitch, I was like, "Fuck you!" I was over it.
Yeah,
it was so much fun with that glitch, though. I'd probably still be playing now.
This game was too. That was does all those objectives, and you had to bring the map up, and you had to worry about each other, and all the money going everywhere. I downloaded Astrobot, the new one, and played that for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
I played that for like 3 hours. It's just a nice, relaxing puzzle game.
Yeah, we played it a little bit this morning.
And it's a hunt and peck, and you got to replay the map a few times to figure it out. Yeah. That's relaxing.
Yeah, that game is easy.
I enjoy that.
Okay. I don't mind that.
There's no button combinations, like Mortal Kombat 11, or any of the Mortal Kombats.
Yeah.
I could never do all the button combinations to get the really, really cool ones. So I just would hack it, and then get the cheat codes.
Yeah, cheat codes are where it's at. I like cheat codes. Cheat codes are fun. I like cheat codes and glitches.
There was, I don't know. Did you ever have are y'all old enough to know about the Nintendo, the original Nintendo Entertainment System?
Genie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Game Genie. And that was a third party. That was a third party thing. That wasn't, So that's how smart. That's how easy it was back then to be a hacker, I guess. But then Nintendo shut that down, and that's one of the reasons why they went to a different disc system with their next ones.
Haters.
But even Game Genie would shut down the game. Right when you get to the end of a game, using their cheats, it would shut down so you wouldn't see the ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so after you beat it, you'd still beat it, but it wouldn't be.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't see it.
Of the story.
You wouldn't see the story like Legend of Zelda and stuff like that when you get to the final because you cheated all the way through.
Yeah.
It would shut you down. Like, damn. Even back then, they didn't like cheaters.
Games just don't capture me. They just don't get me. I like first-person shooters, but they got to be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just like walking. Running. This motherfucker's always running. I wait for a run. The done's like, all right. I woke up.
You don't get tired when you run.
I don't get tired when I run either.
On the game?
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I reset my sprint.
Yeah.
Just wait. Hit it again.
It's a fun game.
And you just like to run and do jiu-jitsu. I can't say that word.
Yeah, you're having a hard time.
Well, I can't. Ever since I got the dentures, I can't say that jiu-jitsu.
Oh. Hopefully with your next ones.
Oh yeah, I get new teeth next week. Real dentures, because I had all my teeth ripped out. And dentures put in the last 6 months. And then, but next week I get, these are temporary, I get the real ones, which means another 3 months of speech impediment till I learn how to, because it's just a new mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what this feels like, is wearing a football mouthpiece or a boxer's mouthpiece while you're trying to eat, and so,
gotta learn sign language, man.
Yeah, you should do that in the corner. Like that one lady that didn't know what the fuck she was doing.
Yeah.
That was wild.
She's just making shit up.
Yeah.
But, with me and my luck, though, I'd get some black guy thinking I was throwing gang signs. Shoot me.
Yeah, they got Mexican gangs, too, and white gangs. Well, I guess white gangs don't throw signs on.
I think they have them, but it's more in their handshakes.
Yeah,
it's a handshake.
And then that one salute.
The old 440 stuff.
They still try to do that to me at the shop every now and then. It's like some sort of lightning bolt thing. They do it.
They do the little point when you like that.
Yeah. And I just like, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, you did that.
I remember whenever I was in prison, the white guy tried to shake my hand. I was like, oh, shit, they can't shake my hand. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
It's going to get you in trouble, huh?
Yeah.
I'll stab you. You've got your hand, it's just stab you with the other hand.
Right, that's what I mean. Don't touch me. I didn't like anybody touching me when I was in prison.
People try to touch you, Barry?
Barry's so scared about getting raped in prison. I try to tell him that you just have to fight, and he's like, I'll get raped. He's like, you don't understand.
You're too big to get raped, man.
I'm old.
You're too much of a hassle, bro.
I had to tell him that they really have to want it.
Yeah,
they really
you're too big of a hassle,
it.
bro.
There's other easier targets out there.
Nobody want that much hassle, man.
I think it'd be more of a revenge thing for what I did, Especially,
you didn't do nothing.
Yeah. I wore gray. That's like,
because he was a prison guard or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He was never in prison. He just worked there.
Right. I said, if you go back as a guard, they gonna gang rape you, bro. They gonna.
Yeah.
No, but he's saying they will because he was a guard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't know. I don't know.
I actually just seen it on a TV show. They got the guard.
TV's a little different.
No, it's not. No, when it comes to that, man.
Have some faith.
They ain't gonna let you get that.
Have some faith.
The other guards gotta be involved for you to get caught up like that.
Have some faith. Yeah. Somebody's gotta tell. You know what I mean? They really gotta dislike you.
Yeah, they gotta shut the door and turn their back and not know that, like they don't know you.
Well, I mean, I was a prison guard for 12 years. I saw some stuff.
It's
12 years is a long time. 12 years is a long time.
That's a long time to mess up your whole mental.
Yeah.
My cousin.
I'd be scared too.
Quit out. I think my cousin stopped after 2 years. He's like, it's too much.
No, I worked in.
They pay really well, I hear.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, back then in '94, it was $1,200 a month.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Starting out, so yeah. But it was a psychiatric prison. I was too much of a pussy to do anything. Because I was 19 years old. I remember a guy at Courtney's side came up and grabbed me. I was like, motherfucker. And all the other convicts around them were, they were just laughing, and the guard was laughing. It was a trustee, but they didn't.
Did he pick you up or what? What did he do?
He didn't have to. He just fucking, he just grabbed my arm, fucking big meat paws, and he just, hey, boy.
Some big humans out there.
That's why I was like, this is real. People
can hurt
because he just came up from behind me. I'm just standing around like, because I just got, I just
out of way. Ain't paying attention.
Not paying attention. I'm just standing there. I'm supposed to be watching everybody. I'm just standing there staring off into space. And the fucker came up, grabbed me, and said, "Hey, boy."
He called you boy too.
I want to see your reaction.
Yeah.
He said, after that.
Hey, boy. Hey, boy. Pay attention.
Yeah. Helps you out.
Yeah, he's not supposed to get that close to you.
No, definitely not. He wasn't supposed to grab me or touch me or anything.
The fact you let him even come up behind you that easy.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. That's why he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why he did it. It just fucking scared the shit out of me, man.
Yeah.
Because back then, like now, it's a 6-week academy that's very involved, shit like that. But back then in '94, it was 12 days, and it was just you sitting in class, and they just ran through everything, and they give you a test, and they tell you the answers on the test because they needed prison guards They needed officers because the federal stipulations told them y'all got to get rid of these because trustees were the guards, and it was bad. They were called turnkeys.
Yeah,
it was really bad. Yeah, and there was like one guard, for 1,000, but he had his turnkeys.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was a lawsuit from blah blah blah. Federal got involved and said y'all got to build more. So that's whenever Texas prisons blew up.
Oh.
Because if y'all remember back in 94 or 92 to 96, 97, I mean prisons just went everywhere.
Man, I wish I could have caught that grant.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers really got rich. I bet.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And then the academy was 12 days long, and you just ran through it.
Like, lock them up.
Yeah, and then then you go to your unit, and then you're like, all right. Go watch these inmates. And so that I'm just standing there watching these inmates work, these trustees work, and I didn't really understand what a trustee was. I was 19 years old. I didn't know anything.
Less crimes.
Well, no, they'd been in long, they
good behavior.
Yeah, good behavior, shit like that, but I'm just watching him, and he could, but yeah, it scared shit out of me, man.
It was a real shock to me when I went there, just because I recognized the place from my church taking me there on a scared straight thing. And so when I got there for the first 2 weeks, I was like, I know this place. I just kept thinking, I know this place. It took me a while, and then all of a sudden one day I was sitting in there, and it just dawned on me, and I was like, oh, I fucking came here with my church on a scared straight mission, and now I'm in this bitch. And I was like, God damn it.
So that program doesn't work, does it?
No, it didn't stop me at all. 'Cause when I went to it, I remember thinking, I'll never be here. I remember thinking that. I'll never be here. I didn't really pay much attention. I just remember the intake area, and then we saw the dorm. And I think they could still smoke then or something, because I do think it was smoky. But it could be just my memory. And I remember we looked in the dorm room, and we were like, man, I just remember being like, okay, I'll never come to this bitch. And boom. Into that motherfucker. As opposed to below, baby.
I'm sorry, dude. It's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. It was really funny. I just remember sitting in there like, what the fuck?
What's been really funny is one of the convicts that was yelling at you, in the that was in the program, 10 years before that. If they, if you saw the same guy.
I don't even remember that part. But I remember I don't remember being close to them. And I do remember when I went in there, I remember being around people that were super heavily tattooed and being like, whoa, that's fucking cool. Just being like, that's fucking dope. Just crazy shit. You're like, oh, this motherfucker don't give a fuck about nothing. Not like that. Yeah. But some of those motherfuckers really don't give a fuck about nothing for real.
No.
Yeah.
They
don't give a fuck. Crazy. They're just fucking dudes all day. That's what they like. They like that place. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's why I don't want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to ever go there either. Fuck that. Especially now, I asked my friend Curtis, I was like, that gay shit's probably out of control now. And he's like, it's out of control for real. He's like, it's fucking wild. I was like, I bet it's fucking insane because it's so accepted in society now. It wasn't an accepted thing when I went, so it was you'd see a guy getting a back rub from another guy, you'd be like, that was weird, but it would be the gay guy that washed everybody's fucking clothes or whatever,
right,
cleaned everybody's stuff, so you'd just be like, huh, but one motherfucker would usually be getting the back rub, you'd just be like, oh.
It's weird, bro.
You're gay in here, and I'm sure now it's pretty crazy. Because I remember, and then they had a guy that came in that had boobs, and so he had fucking boobs, and I remember everybody was talking about it. I hadn't seen it. It was going around. Everybody was like, "There's one with boobs. There's one with boobs," and then so my homeboy Ray had told me about it, and I was like, he's grabbing his nuts while he's telling me. I'm like, dude, you're going home next week, and he's like, I know, but still, it's got boobs. I was like, oh my god, I was like, you're fucking crazy, dude. Going home in a week, but he was ready to fucking go against that thing. I was like, oh my Jesus. So I can only imagine.
So it was a tranny that got arrested. That you had to go
went to prison. Yeah, but I already had the boobs done.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we ended up talking to it out on the fucking on the
Talking to it.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what it was, like a boy or girl. I don't know the pronouns. So yeah. So I think we ended up talking to it, and it was just like, you know, it was cool. It just told us how it did its boobs. It was like shots or something, like shots of silicone, I guess. I don't really know. We were like, okay. And my friend would not shut up about him. He was just like, and he was like the leader of the Bloods. Like,
oh man.
Yeah. He used to tell me this story though. It's like my favorite fucking story about this guy, and he had a really cool tattoo, and it was like the fingers, like in the throwing up the blood thing.
Yeah.
And he used to get violated or something like that, right, all the time, because he would tell them that he was gay. They would throw him in the gay tank, and he would just start raping everybody. Oh, and so then they would have to take him back out and punish him for a while, and then like he had to be in trouble with his gang for being gay. Wow. I'm sure they've changed their story now. They're probably cool with it now, but
that's crazy.
But I just remember that was one of the funniest things. I was like, oh, because they used to keep them separated to protect them and shit like that. And but you know, some of them didn't care and they didn't want to be protected, so they could go out in the regular population. But he would just go in there and just wreak havoc. Like, what a wild guy.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, so then when he started talking about that one with the boobs, I'd be like, what are you doing, man? You used to tell me how y'all beat up Adam, because Adam would do that.
Yeah, it's prison.
Yeah.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
I guess so.
That's what I got told that more than once, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, why do you do that? Man's got to do, boss, I've been in prison a long time. Man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Jesus Christ.
Compromise it.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. And they get out here and fuck women.
Oh, that guy was never getting out.
Oh, yeah, but the ones that do.
Yeah, the ones that do, and then they come out and then
spread diseases.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's what I say. It's probably crazy as shit. Crazy as shit now. Absolutely bonkers.
Well, that's another reason to stay clean and sober and crime free.
Right. Yep.
Just to stay out of there.
Take your vitamins, lift weights.
Yeah. Speaking of that.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Business.
Jay's tattoo shop is open, so he's having to take phone calls.
So what do we got?
What do I got?
Yeah.
I got herpes.
So what do you guys got planned today?
Nothing. Hang out here for a bit and go back home. Find out good times.
Yeah, we got some party favors with me. Probably hang out for a while. Do that.
Wrapping it up?
No. He's just asking what plans are tonight.
Yeah. Same as you, probably red eyes.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
He'll take a nap.
Yeah.
Party just for to get started.
Yeah, right.
I'm 48 years old.
I got a 2-year-old. No partying.
Oh, man.
Got a party in the mornings.
Right?
Yeah, I got a party in the morning. I go to grandma's. Yeah. School.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
Yeah, right.
But I remember when I was in my 30 years ago when I was 18, and party all night, all the way, and then everything like the stuff you wanted to find was really hard to find. Now now that I'm old, and progressive society has got it wired up to where you can go down the street and find what you go on. But now I've had a hard time, and now finally, and it's really expensive. But I made the decision to start on the semiglutide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Barry's about to fucking disappear. Barry don't know at all. Barry's about to disappear, bro.
But I was like, I had a hard time, deciding which one, because there's so much information out there and so many different prices. Like, and then do I go to a doctor? Do I not go? What do I do? But I was like, dude, this is like as a kid, you're like trying to find something on the black market, that is now, you can just call a guy and he brings it to your house. You know, if you pay enough.
Yeah.
But this other stuff, this Ozempic, is much more expensive, so you feel like, you know. But, so yeah, it's like, wow.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy when you start that.
I did. I took my first shot on Wednesday.
Oh, you're not even hungry at all.
No.
You're forcing yourself to eat.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's going to be funny.
But, you know, it's just the first week, so we'll see how, you know.
My girlfriend started taking that shit. Like disappearing. It's like crazy. Like I've watched her like change like over the course, and I would listen to all these podcasts about it. So I was like, damn, I kind of wish I could take it. You know, like just not to lose weight, but just because your willpower is like increases so much. And I was like, I would look at her every day, and I'd just be like, holy shit, every day she looks different. But she's just starving.
Right.
Dude, do you remember how big of a deal it was, anorexia and bulimia when we were growing up?
Yeah.
Like, all the girls were like, I have an eating disorder.
Go talk to a counselor.
Yeah, constant.
Like, it was crazy.
Constant. And now they just give you medicine to give you goddamn anorexia. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, you're not really
starving. Nobody's
starving.
saying anything. Oh, you're starving, dude.
Yeah, it's less than 2,000 calories, I know.
When'd you do your shot?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
You don't feel starving, and your body's, you know, and your insulin, that GLP-1, the way it resets your insulin and your body's set point, you know, and helps keep your insulin regulated, because I mean that's what it's made for, is type 2 diabetes. But now you're not really starving, you're burning calories.
Yeah.
You're just burning stored calories. You know, versus taking in calories.
So you're still eating?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Not as much. You get 2 or 3 bites, you know.
And you're full, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Which is how it should be.
Sort of.
And that's why you should eat nutritious food versus just junk food.
Yeah.
You know,
it's hard when you're stoned, right? It's hard to like not eat a bunch of shit when you're stoned.
Well, that's why I don't have shit. Like,
I buy fruit. I make sure I have fruit on deck.
Well, I don't buy stuff I would eat.
Yeah, we don't buy a lot of bread stuff.
Right. I don't, you know,
really bread shit.
Yeah.
And just counting your calories, really. As long as you count your calories, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't count calories. I just, you know.
Just gotta have a guess. You just read the back of the thing real quick. How many of these are in this package? Okay.
And then I gotta remember.
You remember while you're eating? You can't remember while you're eating?
All day.
It's not hard. Just try it. You can do it. You got a big old brain in there.
Yeah, but what am I counting calories for? I'm not eating now, so.
Yeah, you're doing the cheater thing.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I've tried the calorie count, and I've tried the Weight Watchers.
Like, you guys are too fat. Here's this fucking medicine now.
Yeah.
I think it might extend your life a little bit, too.
Well, that's the downside.
Yeah, for you. Probably just because you lose all the weight. You know what I mean? That's probably why it extends your life.
And because you become healthier. Yeah. It's made for diabetics, and, you know, and all of us, most of us in America are type 2 diabetic or borderline.
Sometimes I catch Jenny's legs, though, and I'm like, oh, you're looking small. Like, you're going to disappear. So I think you do have to work out, though. You don't want to lose all your muscle mass.
Yeah, you know, but
like you're just in a sack.
But, you know, you can, you're going to want to work out because it doesn't hurt. Whenever you're heavy and you try to work out, you know, at any point, you know, just everything hurts. Your joints hurt. Everything hurts because of all the weight. Yeah. So, yeah, you have more energy.
Well, that's exciting.
Because I know whenever I had my gastric sleeve that first year, you know, my energy level just spiked because I dropped so many pounds. I could move around and not be winded just from, you know, walking up a flight of stairs.
That's interesting. That's really cool. You're starting to take care of yourself, huh?
Well, you know, I mean, I had an extra $300, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's cheap.
A month?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's cheap compared to what I hear people are paying.
Well, some people, you know, I mean, if they're buying it from their doctor with no insurance, I bought it online, you know.
Yeah.
So.
You still, 300 is a lot usually for most people's insurance.
Well, 300. No, I'm paid 300 of my own dollars. For me, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. It's not a little amount, but it's cheap compared to what I hear.
Yeah, some people are paying. That's what I mean. I shopped and shopped and shopped.
Yeah.
So.
Which one are you taking?
The semiglutide.
The first one?
Yeah.
The third one? This is the third one.
Yeah.
The Zepbound is the fourth one. You should be taking this fourth one. Why not take the fourth one?
Because it was more expensive.
Oh. Yeah, you're going to get better results with the newer one.
Well, yeah, but it's also a lot more expensive.
Yeah, they say the one they're working on right now, the 5, is like going to like blow all these other ones away.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like insane.
Well, whenever it comes. But just got to use tools that the tools that you have. Like whenever I had, because I kept whenever I had my sleeve and I lost 100 and some odd pounds. Yeah, I mean, I kept it off for a good 2 years before it came back. So,
Really?
yeah.
Does the sleeve dissolve?
No, just bad eating habits, stress the stomach
Stress
back
it back
out,
out,
and
yeah.
then heavy stress through a divorce. Overeating,
Big
went back into
divorce.
bad habits. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been an hour and a half, so.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Thanks,
Courtney got
everybody.
tired
Thank
a
you,
while
Courtney,
ago.
for joining us.
Okay. Thanks.